guys, Middleton and Holiday and way too many. But Skip, you see Giannis is in the paint. I give him credit. 22 of his 25 shots the other night were in the paint. He shoots a high percentage.
He does. 70% in the paint.
That's pretty good.
I'd say that's pretty great.
I love the fact he only attempted 2 threes. Really, he only attempted 1. The other one was at the end of the half, Skip. He just threw up something from over half court.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he only attempted 1 3, and that was in the first minute of the ball game. He says, you know what? The hell with that. I'm going inside. Did a great job. But they got to cut down on some of these threes. And the last thing, the most important point, what are you going to do with Trae? Are you going to let him be a scorer, or are you going to let him be you can't let him do both, Skip. You can't let him score and play make.
Yeah.
Either let him go get his 40, but you shut everybody else down, or you just make him a playmaker. But, Skip, you let him get 48 and 11. Donovich, make John Collins, because I think that young man has proven, Skip, over the course of his young playoff career, he can beat you. Ask the Knicks. Ask the Sixers.
Yep.
Ask the Bucks the first game. So you should have learned your lesson. Get the ball out of his hands, make someone else beat you, keep the Hawks off the glass. That's the recipe for success. And do not shoot 33s.
So, Mr. Sharp, speaking of learning your lesson, you still have a home in Atlanta, GA.
I do.
You're from Georgia, born and raised.
I do.
The Hawks all year were your team because little Ice Trae was your little man.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you turned on your team on the brink of the NBA Finals just as we got to the conference finals, and you said, no, it's Giannis and it's the Bucks. They're just too good.
Yep.
Game over.
That's what I was thinking.
You should have learned your lesson in game 1 because I believe your little Hawks have the big bad Bucks on the ropes tonight in their place. I think they have them on the run tonight. I think they have them right where they want them. And I got to tell you, I slept on this. I like the Hawks in this game.
You taking the Hawks again?
I'm taking them again.
Oh, my goodness.
In fact, the more I think about it, I love the Hawks tonight. And they're 7.5-point dogs at Milwaukee again. It's been 7 or 8 in game 1.
Yeah.
And think about this. Giannis has a long and tragic history of playoff flameouts.
Right.
He goes down in flames and up in smoke when you least expect it. And once it starts going south, it usually just goes south. I believe that the visiting team tonight feeds off of and thrives off of and loves its star way more than the home team tonight is able to feed off of and thrive on and love its star. Right. I don't feel a deep love, a deep bond between Giannis and his teammates. I don't think they dislike him. I just think they all look at him like, are you sure you're that guy? Because I don't think he's that guy for this time and this moment.
Well, Skip, the dunk, the three-point shot has become more relevant. It's more get the crowd out of their seat than the dunk. It used to be the dunk. The dunk would let, but now the way Trae is raining those threes, and I know it's on the road, that's more heartbreaking than a dunk.
Okay, I got it. And speaking of the road, do you realize your little Hawks, your little upstarts, have gone 6-2 on the road in these playoffs? They won twice at Madison Square Garden against a Knicks team that seemed to have come of age. And that city was on fire for the first time in ages for its Knicks, right? And they went in there, and Trey Young became, weirdly, the villain of villains, the Reggie Miller, at about 5'11". Reggie's like 6'7", right?
Yep.
And they won twice at MSG. Then they won 3 times at Philadelphia against the #1 seed, the team with the best record in the East, the team with 2 nuclear weapons in both Joel and occasionally Ben Simmons until this happened. 3 times at Philadelphia, and now they have won once, game 1, at Milwaukee.
Right.
What does that tell you? This team is fearless on the road. Trae has talked about he prefers playing on the road to playing at home. He enjoys shutting down and jawing with the crowd. He enjoys the. You did too when you were a player.
Because, Skip, there's less pressure on the road because they expect. When you're at home, Skip, what is it? You're expected to win. Oh, the crowd will get us going. But when you're on the road, you know it's only you and your teammates against their team and the entire stadium.
And he seems to thrive on it.
Yes.
5 feet 11 inches tall, of just playing huge.
Yes.
Of being David to their Goliaths.
Yep.
And he slays the giant on the road. And tonight on the road, think about this. Obviously, the second star in Milwaukee went 0 for 9 from 3, Chris Middleton.
Can he play that bad again, Skip?
No,
6 for 23?
He will not be 0 for 9. But you want to talk about a rim starting to shrink at home tonight? It's going to look about the size of a golf hole. You watch, like the cup in golf, that little tiny hole. It looks smaller and smaller to me when I try to putt from 3 feet. It looks like a thimble. But the baskets tonight for the home team, you don't think they're up against it right now?
Well, they better get out to a lead. You don't want to be Skip. You don't want to be dealing with this Hawks team in the fourth quarter because that's what the Hawks did. You thought the Hawks were going to go away when the Milwaukee made their run, but the Hawks stood right there. And so if you're the favorite, the longer the game goes, the more confidence you give the underdog team, and then you start to press. Man, y'all ain't gone away yet. And Trae like, nope, we right here.
We're right there. And if this is a close game going into the fourth quarter, I do not love Milwaukee's chances at all because Giannis doesn't have a takeover kind of game.
Right.
He needs to get to the rim or at the rim,
correct.
right?
Yes.
And if they start to lock up and lock down and build that wall, it gets harder and harder for him to just take over the way Trae is capable of just nobody can keep him in front of him.
Right.
He's going to get in the lane and he's going to wreak some havoc. And I told you the other night, I felt like a star is born, and I think a star will continue to rise tonight. But then I look at the numbers in the fourth quarter the other night. He's Trae Young, 1 for 7, and 0 for 4 from 3. Well, is that a star is born? Yeah, it was, because he made all his free throws. He made 9 of 10 free throws, and in that last closing stretch when they won 18-8 going all the way home, he made 7 straight free throws.
And had 3 assists.
Yeah.
The question is, Skip, Holiday had an outstanding offensive game. Is he willing to sacrifice some of that offense to do a better job defensively on Trae Young?
Maybe, but I don't know if he's capable. I just don't know.
That's all defensive for first team.
I got it. I wasn't seeing him able to stay in front.
No, he wasn't.
Ben Simmons was very effective.
Yes.
Just because he's 6'11".
Yeah.
And
him, but I thought he had the quickness to beat him at the spot. He says, nope, not here. Nope, not here. But he let Trae get going early. You can't let him get 14 in the first quarter and think you're going to hold him down for the rest of the game because now he's seen the ball go into the basket, and now you got your hands full.
Remember game 1 at Philly, they scored 74 in the first half. This is against a good defensive team. Well, that's what they're capable of doing. They just explode on you because you don't see them coming. You look at the tape and you say, no, it's serious. John Collins, I got to mention him again. He's becoming a star. Right before your very eyes. What do you go? 23 and 15. 23 and 15 and made that big corner 3. That was a game changer.
And he had a couple of dunks on old Brook Lopez's head.
Yet he shot he made that 1-3, 1 of 5 from 3, and Herter shot 1 of 6 from 3. What if tonight Herter makes 4 or 5 threes? Is he not capable?
Yeah, and Bogdanovich hadn't played well.
Well, he's got a knee issue that he's fighting, and Gallinari didn't play that well the other night, and he's capable of going off on you. So I'm looking at this saying they can play a lot better too. Well, Trae was 4 of 13 from 3. What if he's capable of making 7 or 8?
Well, he makes 7 or 8 threes. The Bucks are going to be in trouble.
I think the Bucks are about to stop right here because if they go down 0-2, Atlanta's going to the finals.
Are you trying to tell me you could possibly have the Hawks and the Clippers in the NBA Finals?
Well, I'd be watching. I'd be on the edge of my seat.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, Suns. Let's go, Suns.
Let's go, Suns. No, we got to have Clippers. You and I. How much would we bet on that? Clippers? I'd take the Clippers in that series.
I bet you would take the Clippers in that series.
You know what? I would love to see Pat Bev go against Trae Young because that would be a battle.
Yeah, that would. But I don't know if Pat Bev have the foot speed. He gonna try to get physical. You know, he try to bump him, put it chest to chest him. But Skip, look, it's as simple as this, Bucks. You're gonna have to rebound the basketball and cut down your threes. It's as simple as that. Because if you think you're gonna, how many games have they won? I mean, I think what happened is that they had such success shooting the three against the Heat